Hello everyone, and welcome to the ARMS macro tutorial. Here I will show you the macros I personally use in arenas and have helped me get to where I am today. I hope you enjoy. Please like, fave, and subscribe. First, we're going to go start through the basic macros, which are the attack macros. The attack macros are Mortal Strike, Colossal Smash, Heroic Strike, Overpower, and Slam. Now, they're all the same. The only thing you really need to add to them is / start attack. What this does is if you're rage starved or say you're going to switch to another target immediately, this will make you auto attack them. So you can generate rage so you can pretty much demolish them. That's really all there is to the basic attack macros. Next, I'll be moving to just the basic macros in general. First, we're going to start with the shield wall macro. You have cancel Blaze Storm if you have it. I don't know why you would. It's not even good for PvE. The other abilities are still do more damage than Blaze Storm. It's complete garbage now. / cast defensive stance, equip slot, your shield, and your one-hander. If you're Fury, put a two-hander in there. That way you have more HP, more resil, more PvP power, which will benefit you. The second macro will be my shield wall macro. Now, this macro has a lot in it. It's the same thing, pretty much a little bit, but when you come down, you'll see / cast shield wall, which reduces damage by 40%. It also has commanding shout and rally cry. Now, the reason why I do this is because sometimes you're going to get fucked up. And watch my HP. I go from 371 to 475. That's a huge difference. And honestly, when you're getting fucked up, that is a very nice thing to have. None of them share global cooldowns, so they can all be popped at the same time. I wouldn't say it's overpowered since our 3% heal kind of gets shat on in arenas, but it's definitely good and I would recommend it to anybody. Also, please keep in mind that though these abilities are macro together, you should have them separately keybound as well. For example, Rally Cry and Commanding Shout. Say your partner starts getting really fucked up and he needs an extra boost on HP. You need to pop that Rally Cry, and hell, if you don't have a fucking priest buff or if you don't have the health buff, yeah, pop Commanding Shout as well. Give them a little bit more survivability to benefit your team. Next, we're going to go to the Berserker Rage and Rage regen. Now, right now, second wind kind of tops everything. Impending victory is garbage. Even if you glyph it, that's only 15% heal every 30 seconds. It's just not good. Enraged Regen, they nerfed it. It no longer does, I think it was like 32% or it was like 30% or something like that. It only does 20%, 10% immediately and 10% over 5 seconds. Some people will go towards this, and it can be used while stunned, and it costs no rage if you use while in rage. So what this means is you need a macro to pop Berserker Rage and Enrage Regen. That way it won't cost 60 rage, because guess what? If you get stunned and you don't have 60 rage when you pop that, you're not going to use it. So you might as well just use that Berserker Rage and get that health. The next basic macro we are going to go to is Spell Reflect. Now, Spell Reflect's a very basic macro. Spell Reflect, all it really does is you equipped slot 16 your weapon and 17 your shield. And then / cast Spell Reflection. This is a great spell. Pretty much it'll save your ass so many times. Get in the habit of using this macro if you notice somebody is going to cast a CC on you or damage on you. Do not use your Mass Spell Reflect for that. Mass Spell Reflect is a very big ability, and if you just use it and play with it and fucking just use it for your own needs and stuff, your healers are going to get CC'd. People are going to take damage they shouldn't take. Ultimately, as a warrior, you have a lot of lockdowns and you'll have a lot of defensive and utility. You need to use them wisely. The next one we're going to go to is, of course, the one that everybody loves the most, the Swifty one-shot macro. This macro is a combination of pretty much all your burst abilities. It is recklessness, blood fury if you're an orc, your gladiator badge of victory, your avatar, your berserker rage, your skull banner, deadly calm. Now that increased damage by 50% plus all the increased critical damage by 20% from the skull banner. It's just ridiculous. It's a lot of damage. It's pretty close to global. This is gonna make KFC pretty insane with the Beastmaster Hunter. Um, and yeah, you gotta have this. Also, please, once again, keep in mind you need to have Avatar, Skull Banner, Berserker Rage, and Deadly Calm on all separate keybinds. If you don't, then what if you don't have Recklessness up? Because Recklessness is only up every 5 or 6 minutes, I believe. And Skull Banner, all those are like 3-minute cooldowns. And Deadly Calm's only a 2-minute cooldown. Your badge is only a 2-minute cooldown. You want to use these as much as you can. If you can put out some burst to take down the enemy when you guys set up a kill, that's what you want. Especially if you don't have Recklessness up, you really need to make sure they're all keybound separately as well. The next we're going to go to is charge. My basic charge is right here. It cancel Aura Blade Storm, cancel Aura Onyx, Netherwing Drake. The reason why I have that is because I like doing world PvP, and of course I ride around in my Netherwing Drake, so mid-air I'll charge somebody and it'll cancel that so I can charge them. And / cast Hamstring. I do this so immediately I can get a imp hamstring on them. My whole goal is to snare them so they can't get away from me. This doesn't work too well with DKs, but it works very well with other classes. I couldn't recommend putting hamstring on your charge enough, especially in a PvP environment. It's it's definitely needed. The next one we're going to go to is the Deadly Calm macro. Of course, that'll just be another burst macro. Deadly Calm has been nerfed to a great extent. It now only reduces the cost of Heroic Strike by 10, so instead of it costing 30 rage, it's going to cost 20 rage, and it's for the next 3. So it's almost garbage. It's really good with Avatar because Avatar gives you extra rage, so you always have rage, but it's not amazing. So if you just need to get a little bit of damage in, and you know that you have like a 2 or 3 proc of Overpower, yeah, pop that with your badge, and it'll do some good damage. Next, we're going to go to targeting macros. Targeting macros are amazing. I do not like clicking targets in arenas. The only time I would ever click a target is if it's a pet, and I don't even like doing that. I don't like clicking targets at all. I like everything being keybound, but sometimes you got to click a pet to kill the pet. It is what it is. Especially against Beastmaster Hunters, that's going to be very viable. Killing their pet, they resummon it, kill it again, and they got nothing. They're completely fucked. But targeting macros are right here. First, you have target equals arena 1, target equals arena 2, and target equals arena 3. That way you can keep swapping between the arena targets and not have to actually manually select them. That's like instant change to a different person. You don't have to worry about any stupid shit. It's just right there. You keep tabbing. Say there's a pet, you accidentally tab to the pet, or you accidentally tab to the healer when you meant to tab to the other DPS. This will pretty much eliminate that issue. And you can make these macros up to Arena 5 if you're really big on 5s. Even in 5s, I really only have it up to 3. I'll do the extra clicking for 4 and 5. I really don't have that. It's a lot of effort for 5 keybinds, but 3 is just enough. Now we're going to go to the focus target macros. Of course, it's pretty much the same thing. / focus, target equals arena 1, 2, and 3. Now, you do need these. These are a must. Even if you want to click the targets and do damage to them, you do need focus targets. Focus is a big thing. Say you need to focus fear somebody, focus shockwave, really just charge a heal, anything. It's really needed, and I couldn't recommend having these focus targets enough. And keep in mind, you will be switching these out quite a lot. Because say you need to disarm somebody that's right next to you, but you want to keep bursting on this one guy. Okay, so you will shift this shift 4, well, my keybind for disarm, and it will disarm the guy on the right, but the guy on the left that I'm attacking, I'm still bursting down. I don't have to switch to him to disarm him. Next, we will be going to the charge macros for focus. Charge, of course, like I was talking about, there is target focus, charge, intimidating shout, blade storm. And then there's just the normal focus, charge, cancel, or blade storm. This one is just a focus charge because we don't have a throwdown anymore. We now have shockwave, which is really our only stun. And shockwave can be used regardless if someone's selected or not. So you just charge them and then you kind of look at them and just fucking shockwave them. And it's pretty much a good game. They're silenced for at least 5 seconds because of the charge alone. It's wonderful and amazing. The next section we are going to is shift modifier macros. Now, shift modifier macros are really big, really great items. I really couldn't recommend them enough. First, we're going to start on the battle berserker stance macro, and also to put two-hander. So say you're sword and board, you push this macro, and it will make you go back to two-hander. You push shift this macro, it will make you go berserker stance. Now, let's make this very clear, and I'm going to put this more in-depth information on this when I make a arms guide on how to do damage, how to CC and everything as arms. Battle stance, when you hit somebody, it generates a percentage of rage. Let's say 20% rage, okay? Now, when you're in berserker stance, when you hit someone, it only generates 10% rage. However, when someone hits you, it generates 10% rage as well. If they're training you, you want to be in berserker stance because you're going to have a full rage bar, especially if you're against an unholy DK or pretty much anybody that has dots or anything. You're just going to be generating that rage so fast. So you want to be in berserker stance when someone's training you, especially a melee cleave. If 2 of them are on you, oh man, you can just spam whatever abilities you want as berserker stance. But if they're not on you, battle stance is the way to go. The next one is intervene. Now, my intervene is very simple. It's last cast modifier shift target and my healer, and then it will be modifier shift my DPS, whoever it is. I just did Lumberjack Cleave, so it's my buddy Brembro, and my healer was Helimax the last game. So say this is huge. You need this intervene macro. If you don't use it, then you're not going to be able to eat traps correctly. You're not going to be able to get the you're not going to be able to take damage for your counterpart like you need to. It's a big ability, and especially if you fight a melee cleave like, I don't know, Kitty Cleave, TSG or something, you're not going to be mass spell reflect. Maybe for Kitty Cleave just because of the cyclones, but for TSG or really any class that doesn't have magical abilities, like I don't know, fucking Rogue Warrior, fuck it, okay? You're going to go Safeguard. Why? It's insane, and it's amazing ability, and it's up every 30 seconds. So yeah, you'll definitely go that for any melee cleave, really. That's really it for intervene. Now we're going to go to the focus pummel. Focus pummel is a amazing ability. I honestly couldn't recommend this enough. If any focus macros you have, focus pummel is definitely the one you got to have. It is force cast non-modifier shift pummel. That's so pretty much just a normal pummel. And then forces class modifier shift target equals focus. So your focus target will get pummeled. This will be huge. That way you can continue to shit on one target while you silence another. You don't have to switch targets. You don't have to do any of that stuff. That just takes time and it takes a lot of effort that you don't need. The next one, of course, is disarm. It really works the same way. We've already talked about it. When I disarm somebody and I want to keep shitting on one target, but I want to disarm the other target, all I have to do is shift disarm, and it's done. It's too easy. That is really all there is to the warrior macros. And if you guys have any questions, if you have any comments, concerns, anything, if you want to know anything, if you got any questions, please don't hesitate to tell me in the comments. Also tell me what you guys want to see. Also, please like, favorite, and subscribe, and you all take care. Hey guys, like I said, please like, favorite, subscribe. Also, please keep in mind that I forgot to add one macro. That is the focus shift modifier for the heroic throw. It's a blanket silence for 3 seconds now. It's also going to be down in the comments with the rest of the macros. Please also check out these two videos, and I hope you all enjoy. Y'all take care.